Hi everybody, this is Ellie. Thanks so much for joining me today for a flip through of the month of June in my Hobonichi cousin. This is the last month in this notebook, and I will be filming a flip through of the entire notebook, so keep an eye open for that. I'm happy to say that I used this consistently for the first 6 months, so I went ahead and added my videos that I posted in June, as well as my updated Instagram and YouTube numbers. Nothing on the last 6 months of the year, but that's fine. I will be doing that in my second Avec notebook. Flipping to the monthly, I kept up with this same minimal layout that I've been loving. So I use the Uniball Signo in the 0.38 for these pages, and I just go ahead and write something from every day. So watched a couple of good shows, had some movie rewatches this month, and I love seeing something from each day set up like this. I did not get to any of the weeklies in June, and honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm going to make more of an effort in July, and we'll see how that goes. I had a lot of fun with my dailies this month. So as usual, I did do my monthly highlight page. I did this consistently every month, and I really enjoy having these to look back at. I'm planning to keep up with this for the next 6 months, and this layout hasn't changed at all. So I'm reading Burnout, I was watching Rutherford Falls, The Flight Attendant, and we've been watching a lot of Christmas baking shows actually, but we just realized that on the CBC app in Canada, we can watch the Great British Baking Show from the beginning, so I am so excited. We've just started season 1. I've only watched the most recent seasons because I could never figure out where to stream the older ones, but that is going to provide a lot of happy comfort and food envy TV watching in the future. Something I started doing was playing with watercolors more this month. I have started trying to learn some watercolor techniques on my own in the past. That's not what I was doing here. I was just playing around, trying to sketch a few things that I have, and really just getting into my watercolors again. I ordered a custom dress from what turned out to be a local shop in my neighborhood, and it was an amazing experience. I just sketched out the linen dress and watercolored it, and it was so much fun, and it fits perfectly. Of course, it was custom made to my measurements. I am loving it. I've worn it so much this summer already. This is from a slow fashion brand that I've been following online for a while, Miakoda. And the owner was super helpful when I had a bunch of questions about sizing. So I had just written some notes on that. Miakoda means, something to do with the moon. I can't recall, but I'll put it on screen. And so I did a little moon phase bullet points here and did the wide leg pants that I ordered, which are so comfortable. I placed my first order from Wonder Pens for the Superior Labor leather clip. You guys have probably seen this if you've seen any of my bullet journal videos. I'm loving it. They sent this beautiful card with a little note, so I just wrote that it was my first order from Wonder Pens, but probably not the last. This is also my first Superior Labor Company product, and it is beautiful and incredibly well made. I've also included my thumbnails for the videos in here, and I always love seeing those. June 7th, this is some Simply Gilded washi tape that Robin at Talks from the Heart had sent me, and I thought that went so well with this vellum from the Iris Designs. You'll see some printables from Brandi Kincaid. These are from her Extravagant Hope mailers, which are just such a lovely subscription. These are some ink swatches that my friend Shelby sent me. I don't know if they all pick up on camera, but there's sheening and shimmering, and they're beautiful. So I just taped them in here so I don't forget any of them. This was my brother's birthday. We had strawberry shortcake, so I did a little watercolor representation of that. The watercolor set that I use is this koi one from Michaels. I got it. I just washed this because it was really messy. And for all of these, I think I was using, I was using this water brush. I do have other brushes that you actually have to dip in water, but I was doing this in front of the TV, so this was just easier and faster. Playing with watercolors, lettering in a quote, another video thumbnail. I have been loving and using these Sailor Shikiori brush pens. Most of the lettering that you'll see in here was done with these. So these are also definitely a favorite. And I just have them here in my pouch by Sandy by the lakeside. This is amazing and there's just so much space in here. I also love this handle for carrying it. I did some minimal rainbows, tried to do some hand lettering with watercoloring, which, you know, turns out okay. I could use some practice for sure. Some watercolor. Some of these pages obviously didn't get written on. That's okay. I still like how they look and I love how they sound. Here I decided to try and freehand some fruits. It was fun to play with colors and shapes, which is kind of what it ended up being. I think it would look nice with some pen maybe to add a little bit of definition or lines, but this is fine. I wrote about when I got my new iPad. I like having that in here, just the process, the research, how, you know, my brother helped, Paul helped. It was really a team effort. Some notes on how we celebrated Father's Day. This again is all with the Sailor Shikiori brush pens. This is my Stationery Stockpile Challenge dashboard for June. This is the collab that I do with Daksina. We have a whole playlist, so I will link it up above. This is my favorite one yet. I did also film a video of this one, so I can link that too, but this was rainbow themed and I love how this came together. I just had so many stickers to work with and it's just so happy. Behind it, I just glued in a picture of a mama fox and one of her pups playing on our front lawn. I did post a video of this on Instagram, probably towards the beginning of June, but I think I will add it to the end of the video in case you didn't have a chance to see it. There are actually 2 fox families in our neighborhood and they really aren't afraid of people at all. So I have seen more foxes since this spring than I ever have before. I don't even think I've seen foxes in person before this year. It's been really interesting to see them up close. My Hobonichi cousin Avec setup for the second half of the year. This was a totally new kind of spread for me, which I really ended up liking. So as I mentioned, I watched Rutherford Falls and The Flight Attendant in June. And I just went ahead and wrote some notes on both of them, and I like having that in here. So I wrote who I watched it with. They were both season 1, and just some thoughts, some pieces that I've read online about them. And I think it'll be fun to flip back and remember that point in time. I didn't totally binge watch them, but I watched them in a pretty short period of time. You know, I did binge the end of this one for sure. Here, just a couple of extra washi stickers that I had. I got this from Shine Sticker Studio. I think it was part of an Oops bundle. And it's so cute and sparkly and bright, but I knew I wouldn't use it really anywhere else. So I kept it in here like a piece of art on its own. Brandi Kincaid's Extravagant Hope mailers, like I talked about, this is one of her printables. And I just wrote about how much I have enjoyed receiving those for the first 6 months of the year. I really like her perspective and her approach to hope and to kind of the challenges that we face, and her art as well is beautiful. So I just wanted to write about that in here. And the last page, I have what is currently inked in my fountain pens. My extra fine TWSBI Eco is the De Atramentis Document Violet. I've had that in there for a while because it has quite a large capacity. I'm really liking it. In my Pilot Metropolitan with the fine nib, I have recently put in the Pilot Iroshizuku Chiku Ryu. Sorry if I've mispronounced that. I actually thought from pictures this would be a lot lighter and I wouldn't like it, but I love this color. I'm partial to greens and this is just beautiful. I'm really enjoying it. My medium Lamy Safara Vista, I have the Organic Studio Nitrogen. I love the sheen on this one. And I finally inked up my Jinhao X750, which I put a Nemesine 0.6 stub nib on, or Nemesine maybe? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Anyways, I have the Organic Studio Henry David Thoreau in there. Again, the sheening is beautiful. And it's fun to write with a stub nib. I have never written with one before, but it is really fun to have the thicker downstroke and I'm just learning how to write with it. The 0.6 I think is a really good size for me because I do have smaller writing and I'm used to really fine pens. So I've seen people use, I think 1.1s and it's beautiful, but I'm really comfortable with this and having a lot of fun playing with it. And that is my last month in this notebook. The Hobonichi Cousin has been a learning experience for me for sure. It's funny that I was originally drawn to it for the weekly layout, and that has been the one I have struggled to get into the most. I'm okay with that. I am okay with the blank pages because when I flip through it like this with you guys, I'm just happy to see whatever does end up in here. And I honestly, my eyes just skim past the blank parts to the next filled in part. I'm really looking forward to the next 6 months in my new Avec notebook. That fresh notebook possibility is always calling to me. And I will flip through this entire book in a quick video if you guys are interested in seeing all of my pages, both filled and blank, at once. Thank you so much for watching today. Please feel free to like and subscribe. At the end of this video, I am going to pop on the clip of the foxes playing, and I hope you enjoy. I'll see you next time.